Hello Internet, and here we are with round 4 of the Arnhem regional game. Now this game is a cracker, really. This game is really interesting. I've had a bit of a rocky tournament run so far with the first 3 games. This one doesn't really settle things at all, but my opponent is one of the best German players there are. He's got a fantastic record going over, he's been playing this game for many years. Lovingly known as Michilele by us British guys, but I played him at Nationals in Germany last year, and I lost the game when I really shouldn't, so I had a chip on my shoulder with this game. I thought, I can't lose this one, but he's a good player, and I'm obviously taking nothing for granted. Anything can happen. This is Pokemon. But let's get into this. He leads with a very Terrakion weak, lead here. A very Terrakion weak duo. Now, unfortunately, I don't take Terrakion. He's prepared, obviously, for my Breloom and Lipid, I suppose, as well. I'm expecting, this Zapdos probably has got Heat Wave as well. So I'm taking this Breloom out and I'm putting Terrakion straight in. So, I'm not feeling too worried here. Neither of these Pokemon can do much to Terrakion. The worst I was fearing was maybe a Thunderbolt on there, but I mean he's not going to Thunderbolt the Breloom. I'm not worried about him using Tailwind because I've got Lipid in here as well. And basically, to make sure Lipid didn't go down, I thought, well, I'm going to fake out the Volcarona. Now, I know it's got Flame Body. I know that there is a 30% chance that I will get burned, which will, make my foul play kind of useless. But I thought I'd risk it. I'd risk the burn. Faking out this Volcarona is the best thing that I can do here. So I use Fake Out. It flinches. I don't get the burn, which is nice. He does go for the Heat Wave with his Zapdos, and he gets the burn on my Lipid. So that was turn 1, but I'm in a good position now because Terrakion obviously threatens both of these Pokemon. Now, what I can do now is basically, I'm not expecting his Volcarona to stay in. It's okay he brings the Landorus in. He does get the Intimidate on my Terrakion, which, is a little bit annoying, but it's to be expected. But I can basically lock this Zapdos into Heat Wave now with Encore and get a free substitute up with Terrakion. Now, it is sitting behind the substitute, which is good. It isn't -1, which isn't so good, but I'd rather, it's still nice being behind the substitute. Now, I'm glad here that Heat Wave and the burn did knock Lipid out, because that means that I can straight away, build on this momentum. Like, I might be 1 behind now. I've only got 3 Pokemon left, but I'm in a good position now. I feel like I'm in a good position. So this is an interesting turn. It's a very interesting game, this. I hope you're enjoying it. It's an interesting turn because if the Landorus is Scarfed, which they tend to be, it's either going to go for a Rock Slide, which will obviously hit Thunderous, but won't, might not even break the sash on the substitute on Terrakion, or he can go for Earthquake, which obviously Thunderous is immune to, but it will break my Terrakion's sash. Now, I'm thinking, if he goes for an Earthquake, then that's fine. With the Rock Slide damage this turn, I can basically protect Terrakion and Hidden Power Ice this Thunderous next turn. So I'm not too worried about this Thunderous. Zapdos is a problem. It is locked into Heat Wave. I actually expected the Zapdos to switch out here, but he protects his Landorus. He obviously shows it's not Scarfed, but I double target into this Zapdos because I was thinking he was going to bring a Kangaskhan in, actually. I thought, a Thunderbolt and a Rock Slide, the Kangaskhan's not going to appreciate that. But that turn worked out perfectly for me because I got a lot of nice damage on this Zapdos. And he stays in and he keeps Heat Waving. So, maybe he was hoping that this would break the Terrakion's substitute. He does get a critical hit here on the Thunderous, but that's alright. And it turns out that it's leftovers on this Zapdos as well, so I can Spore it, if I want to as well in the future. But basically, because I didn't touch that Landorus the last turn, he made the assumption that my Thunderous did not have Hidden Power Ice. At least that's what I presume happened. And so this turn, and I know it's not Scarfed either, so I will outspeed it with both of my Pokemon. Basically, this combination of Hidden Power Ice and Rock Slide, even though it is -1, is going to knock this Landorus out, which I am, happy with. I'm very happy with. I actually didn't expect this Rock Slide to take the Zapdos down here as well, but it does. So either it was a, a low roll with the Rock Slide the turn before, or that was a, a high roll there. But either way, it goes down. If it did survive, it could have potentially flinched as well. But you know, at the moment I'm thinking, well, I've won the game, haven't I? You know, I've got a I've got a Terrakion behind a substitute. He has got a Kangaskhan and he's got a Volcarona. So what on earth could go wrong here? So, you know, let's let's see what happens. He Mega Evolves the Kangaskhan, and we've got some very interesting turns coming up here. Now, I protect my Terrakion here because he is, you know, he's bound to target that. He's got to target my Terrakion. That is the problem here. So I protect it, and we'll see here. He makes an interesting move. He goes for the fake out onto my substitute. Now, we did have a little bit of a discussion afterwards, and I think what would have happened is the first fake out hit would have probably broken my substitute. The second fake out hit would have hit Terrakion itself, and it would have flinched it. So that's what he was going for. Luckily I protected. I do Thunderbolt the Kangaskhan, basically because I do remember that my Terrakion is at -1 behind this substitute. So -1 Terrakion isn't going to one-shot a Kangaskhan. Basically that Thunderbolt puts the Kangaskhan into close combat range, basically. This Volcarona uses Quiver Dance, which I am not worried about at all, to be honest. I'm not worried about it at all, because it can't do anything to Terrakion, can it? So, you know, next turn I'm still pretty happy. I don't really feel like I've got to get any damage off with Thunderous. I'm pretty sure this Volcarona will have a Lumberry, but just out of interest, I Thunder Wave it. And I'm thinking, well, you know, what is the worst that can happen? I've won this game, haven't I? The worst that he could do is Sucker Punch my Terrakion to get rid of the substitute, and if, you know, on the off chance his Volcarona has got Giga Drain, maybe, you know, I did consider that, but I thought, nah. You know, Volcarona, they never have Giga Drain, do they? You know, really? Giga Drain on Volcarona? Yeah. As I see this happen, I could not, like, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. He does Sucker Punch the Terrakion, he breaks the substitute, and he has Giga Drain. Wow. So my Terrakion is down now, and as far as I'm concerned, I've lost the game. I mean, please, you know, comment in this, like on the video thing on YouTube, put your comment on there if you have seen Giga Drain on Volcarona before. Apparently some people have seen it on BattleSpot or whatever, but I don't normally play on BattleSpot very much, so I considered it, but I did not think he would have Giga Drain at all. If I thought he did have Giga Drain, then I probably would have used Substitute again, because his Sucker Punch would have failed. He would have moved faster after the Quiver Dance with his Giga Drain, knocked out my Substitute. I would have got a Substitute up, and I would have had that knowledge. But, you know, I probably should have done that, you know, just to play it a bit safer. But I don't know, he could have just, you know, low kicked the Terrakion there. I really wasn't expecting the Giga Drain. And so basically I've just lost my Terrakion, and as far as I'm concerned, I've lost the game. So bye bye Terrakion. And yeah, these are my last two, these are his last two. His Volcarona's at +1. What can I do? Now this, again, is a very interesting turn. Let's get back so we can see all four of them. There we go. This is a very interesting turn because his Kangaskhan is about sort of, what, 60%, isn't it? You know, it might be in a Mach Punch range. And so, you know, the obvious play, I suppose, is to use Mach Punch on the Kangaskhan to try and knock it out. But if I do that, he can Sucker Punch my Breloom and break its sash, basically, and then get the Heat Wave off to knock it out. But he told me afterwards, as you can see, I'm going for the Mach Punch here. He told me afterwards that he expected me to expect that, which is a, you know, a reasonable play as well. That was the next level of prediction. You know, so he doesn't go for the Sucker Punch here. He doesn't try and break my sash. I did not actually expect, like, this Mach Punch to knock the Kangaskhan out. In my head, I've already lost this game. I go for the Thunder Wave on Volcarona just because I need this 25% chance of a full paralysis. I need it if I've got any chance of winning the game. He doesn't Sucker Punch. He probably thought he could survive this Mach Punch as well. I did as well. But it actually knocks it out. Like, I'd like to know his spread so I can calculate that. But it does knock it out. And he gets the full paralysis on his Volcarona. So, like, wow. From a situation of thinking, wow, I've won this game, definitely, I can't lose it, to, you know, I've lost this game. to, wow, I can actually win this again. All I've got to do is chip away at this Volcarona. Thunderbolt it. I'm not Mach punching it, obviously. Mach punch is only half. Bullet Seed is only a quarter, but there's no chance of me burning with Bullet Seed, and it can hit multiple times as well and get a little bit more damage, maybe. He gets fully paralyzed again. Because he got these two full paralysis in a row, I can actually win this game now. So Thunderbolt again, Bullet Seed off. You know, I get 3 hits both turns, which is nice. It doesn't go down this turn. He doesn't get paralyzed this turn. He gets the Heat Wave off. Here we go. And I'm thinking, wow, he had better not burn my Brillium now. Like, obviously I'm going to survive with the Sash, but if he burns my Brillium, I've lost the game after all of that. Thunderous goes down, he doesn't burn me, and I can Bullet Seed it again next turn. So, wow, what a crazy game. Like, I've had some pretty strange games in the past. That is up there, really, really incredible game. Like, back and forth, just insane. So, I hope you've enjoyed watching this, guys. I hope, you know, I've talked you through this game in a concise way. This is my first attempt at narrating this game. So, you know, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave your comments. Please feel free to, you know, share the channel and video and everything. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.